Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. We're obviously virtual, so a few bits of housekeeping before we kick off with Sarina. Because we are on virtual, please stay on mute. And if you do have a question, please raise your virtual hand and we'll try and get through as many questions as possible. But thanks so much for joining us. We'll kick off with Katie Shanahan at ITV if possible.
Sarina, wow, what a summer.
Yeah.
Now you've gone away on holiday and let it all sink in. How do you reflect on everything you and the team have achieved this summer?
Well, it's absolutely amazing what happened. I still think I need a little more time to just really realize what happened. But yeah, if I think back from when I started last year and where we are now and what we've done throughout the season and especially of course in the Euros, and then win the Euros is just incredible. It's like, yeah, it is a little bit like a fairy tale, but then it's real. Has it
gone better than you expected?
Well, yeah, that's hard. Of course, expectations were high, I knew, and there's so many things that you just hope, and you hope that things go well. As what I said during season, but especially of course during the Euros. So yes, that the hopes become truth. That's just really nice, and we've always all seen that it was really tight, that the competition was really strong in this Euro. So it could have been different too, but I think we did really well.
As for the squad announcement, 5 changes from the Euros squad with a number of fresh faces coming in. First of all, though, no Chloe Kelly or Frank Kirby. What's the latest on their injuries? Are they serious?
No, they're okay. They're okay. It has been short, of course, since the Euros and now. No, Chloe's just a small thing, but it's too early to bring her in and to let her play. So she needs just a little more time, but it's not too bad. And Fran, yeah, she has a foot injury. Takes a little more time. I think she'll be all right, but again, this is too short and she hasn't had that much training at all. So it's just, yeah, she just needs a little more time. This camp just comes too early.
And finally from me, Ellen White and Jill Scott, 2 legends of the game, have announced their retirement. How much of an impact do you think both those players have had on English football?
Well, that's hard to describe in words, how much impact they had. Well, first of all, they've been with the team for such a long time, so they have been impacted the game with the national team, with club team in England so much, and their personalities too. So I've only worked with them for a year, so I'm a little disappointed I can't work longer with them, but I totally understand their decision, of course, and respect that too. But yes, their impact on the game, on everything in women's football in England, but I also think further than England or abroad England. Yes, it's just incredible, and I think we're all so proud of them, and we're all so thankful for what they've brought to the game. And I just hope that they stick with the game, isn't as a player, than in some kind of other role.
Thanks, Sarina, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you. Me too.
Thanks, Katie. We'll go to Anton at Sky Sports News, please.
Hi, Sarina. Lovely to see you. Let's talk about this squad, shall we? Where should we start? Should we start with Lauren James back in the England squad? Why is it you decided to call her up, considering we still haven't actually seen that much of a play over the last year?
Yeah. Well, of course, we have been following her for a long time. Well, we have been following her since I came in, and my former colleagues too. She didn't play that much, but she did play some. We know she's a very talented player. And now she did work over the summer. She also had a very good prep with Chelsea, played minutes. So I think we want to give her a chance to show what she can do with the national team.
Yeah, similar question about Ebony Salmon as well. I remember after the Northern Ireland game at St George's Park, you said she wasn't quite ready for international football. So what's changed between now and then?
Yeah, we're a year ahead. So she had her spot then in the under-23. So I think that the value of the under-23 is high too. So we keep them also with us. So with club and with us. She moved to Houston. There, she did so well there, and she's just a real goal scorer. And that's what she has shown over the summer. So we really want to see where she's at now. Last year she came in too, and she just needed some more time. We're a year further now, and she's done so well. So we really want to give her a chance and show again where she is at with our team.
So we can go through all the squad, but I won't do that to you. But I want to ask you about one player that isn't there. Why isn't Hannah Hampton in the squad?
Yeah, she has some personal issues that she has to solve, and so for her at this moment, it's better to stay at club.
Was it difficult picking this squad, considering how successful you were in the summer, but you still have players like Jordan Nobbs, who is in the squad, and players like Steph Houghton aren't in the squad? I mean, how difficult was it selecting this final 23?
Yeah, well, it has been so short. Players have had holidays after the Euros. Some had very short holidays. They're all in prep, so it's not that we're in the middle of the season. We see that there are competitive games all the time, unless then for, of course, Man City. But so we didn't change that much. Well, two injuries, with Jill leaving and Ellen leaving, and in defense we didn't have any changes. So yes, of course we had a conversation again, but for now we keep it this way. We want, of course, we have a very important game. We have 2 games, but the Austria game is the first one. Is a really important one because we can qualify, and it's going to be a tough one too. They've shown that during the Euros, but they've also shown that in our first match for the World Cup qualification. So what we're trying to do is now have the team have some balance in experience and some youngsters in too. So that's why we made these choices.
Finally, we spoke at Trafalgar Square, and you were already looking forward to the World Cup qualifiers and the World Cup and that kind of thing. Are you excited to get back on the touchline and see the players back at St George's? Yeah, absolutely. I think the world has changed for them. They've had so many experiences. We were all so happy, but then we went and we went back to clubs, had some time off. So it's really nice to meet up with the team again and get ready for the qualification games. Thanks, Sarina.
Staff, of course, too. Yeah.
Thanks, Anton. Thanks very much. We'll go to Phil Medlicott at Press Association, please.
Hi, Sarina. I was just wondering if you could possibly just say a little bit more about exactly what the injury is with Chloe Kelly. I think you just said it was a small injury. What nature of injury is it?
Yes, well, you might have seen the game against Real Madrid. She had to go out. I think something with her leg. It's not too bad. And yeah, so we'll yeah. I think it won't take too long. If you need more information, you have to be with her.
Okay. And Steph Houghton did play in those games, those 2 Champions League qualifiers. I mean, to what extent was she part of your consideration? Was she kind of close in your thinking, or how did that look?
Yeah, as we spoke when we made the squad announcement for the Euros, that she worked so hard, and she did whatever she had in her control to get back. And at the end, we said, well, she now needs rhythm, but I can't give her the rhythm. She needs rhythm to play. She needs a little more time. That's actually didn't change that much. She came in the last game against Real Madrid, and I just hope that she can play more consecutive games and get some football rhythm and see where she's at. And I'll have the conversation with her. I had a conversation with her this week, and I'll have a conversation with her before we go into next camp. But hopefully she gets some minutes and rhythm.
That's great. Cheers.
Thanks, Phil. We'll go to Rachel at Girls on the Ball, please.
Hi, Sarina. I hope you enjoyed your break. Just one question from me. I wanted to ask about Jordan Nobbs. Obviously, she missed out on the Euros through injury, and everyone is so sad to see her get injured the way she did. And now there's a lot of excitement that she's back in the squad. So I just wanted to ask about her inclusion and how excited you are to work with her in this camp.
Yeah, yes, of course, it was very unfortunate for her that she got injured, and she worked really hard to come back, and now she's with club. She has done well in preparation with club, and so we just want to see her again in our environment. And also because Fran is not available, of course, so we're looking at midfielders and get balance back in midfield. So yes, she's excited. We're excited, and we'll see where she's at when she comes in next week.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks to you, Rachel. We'll go to Benjamin Gilby, please.
Thanks so much. Sarina, I'm just wondering, after the events of the summer now and the successes, that bit more of a target potentially for the opposition. You know, the motivation is that bit different kind of challenge for both you and the team to come to, and that's only going to carry on even more so over the next few months leading up to the World Cup.
Yeah, I think so.
Just that additional challenge.
Sorry, you ask a lot of questions now in a row, but let me first answer your first question. No, I think I don't know why, but when I came in, I noticed already that all the countries, they really want to beat England. Not because we were the champions, because we weren't yet. So I think we are used to that. The players were used to that. I noticed that when I came in. But now, as you know, when you're the European champion, everyone wants to chase you. But I think we're pretty much used to that. And we would just want to perform at the highest level we can. And we know when we do our job really well and we are connected as a team and play our best game, that we can also beat all the countries. So we just have to stick with the game, stick together and perform at the highest level. And I think it's really challenging and nice that everyone wants to beat us. So that's a good thing, I think.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Benjamin. We'll go to Simon Collins at the Evening Standard, please.
Hi, Sarina. Just on Ellen and Jill, obviously they're two huge personalities and characters and leaders. Do you think you have the players in the squad who can replace that, or is it something that over the next year you're going to have to develop and find sort of new leaders and characters?
Yeah, well, we'll absolutely miss them because they're such big personalities and they have such an impact on the team. But I do think that's what we already saw during the summer with Leah as captain, that she grew in her role so well and she collaborated with the whole team and also, of course, with Jill, with Ellen, with the other more experienced and leaders in the team. So I do think now the dynamics of the team will change a little bit, of course, that's normal. We will absolutely miss those two, but I think that will stabilize over the next camps and other, because it also gives an opportunity to other players to step up and become more a leader in the team. But I do think we already have some. That's what we showed during the summer too.
And when we were at Trafalgar Square for that celebration, we spoke to Sue Campbell and Mark Bullingham, and they sort of said that when you came back from your holidays, they would sit down with you, talk about the future, possibly a new contract. I just wondered if there was any conversations you've had with them. Have you spoken to them about anything like that?
Yes, I have. I've spoken to them right after the Euros, and I got the exact same message that you have at the moment. But now we just came back from holiday. We're now getting really ready for this camp and for the qualification matches, which are very important, of course, in this stage. I still have a contract now for 3 years, so we don't have to do that conversation tomorrow, but we do it in a short while. But first, now it's about the squad and the games, and then we'll sit down and have a conversation. I just really appreciate that they're reaching out to me and that they're happy with me and also with the rest of the staff.
Thank you. Thanks, Sarina.
Thanks, Simon. We'll go to Molly at the Times, please.
Hey, Sarina.
Hi.
I just wondered about kind of the COVID calendar, meaning that the World Cup is literally next summer. So the tournaments are there's not much time, I suppose, for you to kind of get new players in. Is that why it's so important to get the young players in now while they have, reasonably competitive World Cup qualifiers, so that you get to see them in terms of looking ahead to that tournament as well, because it's not a million miles away, is it?
No, it is. So it's always finding balance. So what you want to do, you have to perform. And Austria is absolutely a big game. So so you balance with experience, younger players, and of course it all starts with quality. But you also would like to have the opportunity, and that will come. That we'll look at that now. We'll look at that next camp too. What's next? Who is really close to the team and who needs the opportunity now to come into the team and get ready for a World Cup? You never know how that goes, but we absolutely are talking about that all the time. Experience, quality, and then of course you have to play too every week. Quality, experienced players, young players that coming into our environment and get used to what's demanded in that environment and show, and that probably needs some time and finding balance in that. But I think, you know, to have Ebony now and like Lauren, who did well, and our youngsters, but we still have some other youngsters that already played.
And obviously that Luxembourg game is sold out at Stoke City. I wonder just how much you've been pleased with the kind of knock-on effect. I mean, we've seen it in the Women's Super League with ticket sales as well. How much the whole country has sort of got behind the Lionesses, not just in the summer, but the legacy going forward into the season now.
Yeah, that's absolutely what we want. So it's more than only with the national team. What you want with the England team, what you want is change. Give a boost to the women's game in England, but also in Europe and the world, and show. I think that's what we've done, but also change society a little bit, change society. And I think it's really good that now that the games are sold out, that it gives a boost to the Women's Super League, that it gives a boost to the club, because we collaborate too. I think our England team was really fit. That's not because we only have them 11 days in the FIFA window. The hard work and the consistent work is done at club. So it's really nice that that collaboration is there. And yes, I hope we change and that this legacy will continue and keep growing the game as fast as possible, and also society. So the players also send this, this letter that like give opportunities for younger girls and of course boys to give the opportunity to play football. So it becomes so much more than only football.
Thank you.
Thanks, Molly. We'll go to Dan Pentland, please.
Hi, Sarina. Hope you're well. We obviously know an awful lot about Austria from playing them here in England. How different do you feel the challenge will be playing them, on their own soil in Austria?
I think in football, I don't think that there will be many changes. So their philosophy won't change all of a sudden, because they have had some rest and go back to their club teams and then come back. To play them there, yes, what we just said, they of course they want to chase us. This is their last chance to qualify directly for the World Cup. So yes, they're going to chase, but that's really what they did in the openings match of the Euros too. So what we just do, we prepare really well. Again, as we always do, there's one focus when we come in next week. That's qualifying for the World Cup, which means that we really are very focused on the game against Austria, trying to play a best game. And it's nice for them, of course, to play in Vienna. Now we don't have 90,000 people behind us, a little less, but I still think we can do the job.
And how do you keep the kind of the players grounded, if you like, coming into the camp off the back of a massive win at the Euros? You see it at club level sometimes where, a team get a great cup result and maybe, they slip up in the next game. How do you keep everybody completely focused on the task, which is Austria?
Yeah, I think the players already did. In the media, you saw that after the Euros, they were already talking about qualification for the World Cup and want to do there really well too. So we'll see when we come in next week. But what I've noticed last year, in every game, we were so hungry to win, or we had so much eagerness to win and to play well. So even though when we had opponents in front of us that we knew ahead that we should win and that we were going to win, but we still played really well, and that's also why we came with a 20-0. So I haven't seen that underestimating thing at all in the team. Now we come from so yes, we will have a little chat about it and see how they feel, but I actually expect that they're really excited to come back in and show again what we can bring and how good we can play.
Thanks, Sarina. Best of luck. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. We'll go to Luke Edwards, please.
Hi, Sarina.
Hi.
Apologies if this has been asked already, but how have you sort of been able to chill out after the tournament? Have you been able to, or has it just been focusing on these games coming up?
No, I did switch off a little bit. I went home, and also in the Netherlands, the weather has been really nice too. So I just switched off, had some time with my family, and that's really what I need or needed. So, and then, yes, of course, we play very quickly again, and then turned on, and now we're here and getting ready. So now I feel good. I'm really excited to get back with the team again.
Cheers. Thanks, Sarina.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. We will go to Ross at ITV News, please.
Hi, thanks very much. Hi, Sarina. Just question today about funding, grassroots community facilities. Football Federation has announced investment of about £92 million into grassroots facilities, not just for football, but for cricket, rugby, netball, basketball. Do you think £92 million is enough? And what needs to be done to try and, keep the investment, going into grassroots sports?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if that's enough. I don't have those insights also in other sports. What I do like about this is that there's going to put an extra effort to get girls into sports. And I think that's needed. That's needed everywhere. And also here, that's what I heard from players. Of course, I'm not from England, so I didn't grow up here. So it's sometimes a little harder for me to know what's really going on there. But I do know that the chances of little girls need to be better, and that needs to be worked on. That's also what the players asked for. So I think it's really good that there's attention, that there's going to get set a plan in place to encourage little girls to play sports. And I think that's so important for girls, but also for society, and give chance. And it's all about inclusion. So I hope this will benefit everyone, and that the future is brighter in sports for girls.
I mean, we've seen that the Lionesses have inspired a whole generation, and right across the board. What do you think needs to be done? What would you do to try and encourage more girls to get into all sports in general that currently isn't being done?
Yeah, well, it's actually your first question. Just encourage, give facilities, and actually you're trying to nudge them all the time. I also think that starts in school. Nudge, make kids enthusiastic, girls and boys. I think do together when you're in elementary school. Just bring them together, play sports, get them moving, whatever sport they like. Because of course I love football, and the football players love football. But if you love netball or something else, go and do that. But we have to put more effort in that, to bring them into this environment, because it's good for social development. It's good for cognitive. It's good for the development as a whole for every young kid.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Ross. We've got time for a final question. If there are any hands that haven't been raised that would like to be. If not, we thank you very much for your time and look forward to working with you next week. Thank you.